talk about Google Business today, but to kind of start off, I just want to like see how many of you already have Google Business like set up?
I do.
Same here.
All right, so we're not going to do the whole entire like what it is. We're kind of going to skip over to the better parts of it because we have done a class on this before. So we'll skip through all that. So here's a great kind of starting point as far as optimizing your Google business. If you do have your Google business already up and running, chances are you probably have at least, let's hope, one review. And just as a quick refresher, Google Business is a place where you host those reviews and want to keep all your information up to date and current. One of the ways that you can optimize your Google business is to ensure that you are adding the correct categories and continually updating photos. So it's very common in our field to take pictures with clients, at settlement, at home, and all those things. And, we see everyone posting it on social media. But another way that you can optimize your Google business is by also posting those photos on your Google page. I wouldn't say you need to post as frequently as social media, but I would definitely, think about adding some pictures maybe with clients on there as well. Again, the more that you are posting on there, the more relevant your account is going to be because it's more active. So, but again, not like social media where you should be posting every other day. And some other ways is just to always ensure that you are within the right category with your Google business account. So that would be real estate agent, real estate consultant. If you do rentals or commercial, you would want to make sure that your categories in there are matching with what you do. A lot of times this can be a key component in coming up when people are just searching for a real estate agent. So it's always good to double check all your accounts that you all already have and are doing a good job on. So today we really want to focus in on Google reviews and how to create a system for yourself that makes it super easy and kind of like second nature to gathering these reviews. Reviews are key. I think we all base pretty much everything we do off of reviews nowadays. We trust other people before we trust anyone, as far as companies and what they have to say. So getting the most positive feedback about your business is always going to be a key component at the end of a closing. So again, we often get asked, should we have them posted on Facebook or Zillow? The answer is no. You definitely want to keep them on Google Business. And the reason behind that is with Facebook, not as many people are going to see these reviews, for one. For two, it doesn't necessarily come up as like a post that someone posted a review. So it really isn't doing you any good on there. And you can also take the review that they write on Google and turn that into a piece of content to post so that you have them on Facebook and Instagram as well as Google. And then Zillow, we all know everything that's been going on with Zillow and how kind of wishy-washy that whole situation is. So you never know what would happen. So I would definitely say we are very confident Google's not going away or going to start buying homes or anything like that. So Google reviews are definitely where you want to focus, getting them at. And you can easily share your link to ask clients to give a review. And so we're going to go through the steps of how to do that because that's a very common question I get. But this is how you can make it super easy for your clients to give you a good 5-star review.
Megan, if I may here, I happened to attend a
a session last night for an hour on with John Cheplack, who was a master recruiter, and he quoted some statistics that go right to this. It's kind of interesting. The millennial buyer now, right?
Mhm.
85% of the millennial buyers look online to interview, or decide which agents to interview. The interesting part about that, of those buyers, their parents who are boomers, or late gens, I guess it's, what is it, Gen Xers,
X, yeah.
right? Make recommendations to them of the agents that they chose. And 90% of their parents recommend the former agent that they worked with. However, the millennial, 70% of them look for that agent online. So they are checking reviews. And since that is 35% of the potential buying population right now, this is meaning that the millennials are, that's a very, very important thing to at least start approaching and getting some reviews and being bold about asking for them. We used to talk about getting testimonials at which are very important at closings. Now the new language is, would you do a review for me?
Mhm.
Okay. So I think it's important to keep in mind, particularly with this generation of buyers. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
Could I piggyback on that really quick too? Google in particular is the most visited site on the planet by like a long shot. And they also own YouTube, which is the second most visited site on the planet. So again, to continue on to what John was saying, people are going to search online and they're going to go to Google first. I mean, it's almost synonymous with searching at this point. You're going to Google it and people don't realize that that's a search engine and it didn't exist in the same way. I'm sure people on here remember things like Ask Jeeves and some of the other stuff, but Google kind of took over and it's all algorithm based. So as this information, the reviews, all this stuff matter because it's included in the algorithm.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely like the first go-to thing we all do, especially my age, but even, I won't say how old my mom is, but my mom constantly is telling me, Google it. And I'm like, if I hear that one more time. So yeah, I think that is definitely everyone's go-to on, making a decision when it comes to a lot of things, whether it's something small or even something big. So getting those reviews and as Yanni and Mr. John were saying, the 5-star reviews, being upfront about that is very important. There's nothing wrong with saying, at a closing, hey, while we're sitting here, I would love to hear your feedback. If you would please, take a little bit of time and give me a 5-star review, that would be great. If they aren't going to give a 5-star review and less than 5 stars, I highly ever doubt that would happen with any of you guys. But if for some reason it is, I would definitely suggest, talking it out before they go and give you a review that's not
Yeah.
5 stars.
The easy way to do that is if you feel that the client is not going to give you a 5-star, don't even go near it.
Yeah.
Don't even go near it. Don't give them the idea that, oh, wait, maybe I really say what I think online. Don't do that. Number two, for those of us that are sitting here, maybe not taking notes, this shot that Megan has up now, I would take a screenshot of this page. It tells you how to do it.
Yeah, we can send this out and make it into something a little bit easier for you guys to follow with some
Great.
pictures and stuff as well for a
Excellent.
handout. It's a great idea, Mr. John. So, but just to review it really quickly, yeah, so you log into your Google business account and it should take you to the home page. If not, you just on the left-hand panel, click home and scroll down on the right and it says right there, share review form. That's how you can easily share it. And it pops up with an option that gives you the opportunity to, here, why don't we just quickly walk through it?
And while Megan's pulling this up, just so everybody knows, if anybody is more advanced than this or wants to dive into something specific, let us know and we'll set up some one-on-one time. A lot of times this stuff can be a bit general for everybody, but I know that each person's business is going to be slightly different. How you want to set things up, where you're at is going to be different. So let's definitely set up one-on-one time, because that's really when you get to the meat of it in your own personal business.
Can we also set up one-on-one time if this is too advanced for us?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think on all levels of the spectrum, right? Because we want to make sure that y'all have this stuff set up. And once you get it, it's fairly simple. I know we've thrown out a lot of different things over the years, Facebook but the Google business profile, I think, is certainly one here to stay. And it's connected to Google Maps, which a lot of people use, when they're trying to find you and stuff like that. So it's high level stuff to have taken care of. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure. I may need one-on-one because I'm not sure what I can absorb today, because I'm depressed thinking about the fact that Megan won't say her mother's age, but I'm probably older than her mother.
I bet you're in the same range.
Let me think, because she just had a birthday.
No, don't.
She doesn't know. That's what it is. She doesn't know.
She is, she doesn't look her age, so I don't ever mind saying it, but I try to be considerate of my mom.
I got a quick question.
Hopefully you can get that distraction out of your mind, Gina, and back to Google business.
Google her mother's name.
Yeah, you could. There you go.
Anne-Marie, yeah, we are going to touch on the QR code side of things for sure, because
Absolutely.
we think that's a great way. Megan's already started doing it with ours, and we might not be able to see it but each office has a QR code business card essentially, and scan it with your camera app on your phone, takes you right to the Google profile, makes it super, super easy. So yeah, we'll definitely touch on that.
So we first want to dive into how to get your link, because that's going to be an essential part to creating the QR code. Also, sending someone over text or email a QR code isn't super helpful. Sending the link is definitely more beneficial. And so today we really want to dive into how to make it the easiest as possible for you to get those reviews when you're, out and about doing your thing. So always having your Google review link, like in your notes on your phone, in your notes on your computer. Even I have the Remax one saved as a draft email, so I always have them ready and available. So you just log into your Google Business Profile Manager, and if you are unaware of how to do that, it is linked with your Gmail account. So again, much like Apple products or Android, your Google account is linked with your email if you're using Gmail. So if you can't find your login, just Google Business Manager, and you can log in. It'll take you to the home page, as you can see on the left, and scroll down. Right here, you'll see Get More Reviews. If you click Share Review Form and you double tap, it already copied this link for me. If I want to share it on Facebook, share it via email. I don't know anyone personally that uses WhatsApp or Twitter, but if you do, all the power to you. The more the merrier. But yeah, it's super easy, super simple. You just click right here. And then another really important part of the reviews is replying. So as you can see on the left, this is our Fulton office. We want to reply to all of the reviews. Hopefully they're all good, but those are the two main parts of your Google review links as far as gathering that link and managing your reviews.
On the replying to reviews, because you're gonna, or it's possible that people might leave a not super favorable review. And it's not necessarily always based on your performance, but maybe something came up they didn't like or this or that. Replying to that review and trying to remedy it or addressing it in some way, I think is always a good thing. When you see that kind of stuff online, if you're searching Amazon or something like that, and somebody's like, oh, this product sucked. And then they're like, oh, we're so sorry for your bad experience. We're sending you a free one, blah, blah, blah. So it shows that shows that you're willing to address it and everything. And I think that in itself has value as well.
Oh, absolutely. It's just as equivalent to a good review, because truly, there are tons of people out there that are crazy, and maybe some that aren't, or some that just love to leave terrible reviews. So to kind of counteract that by responding in a very professional manner, definitely is going to help counteract that issue. I've personally seen reviews where companies have responded, but given so much detail about that person's situation, that it was just like, it was kind of like they responded well, but they went way too into detail, or they went way past what should be put on the internet about someone or stuff like that. So you definitely want to, apologize and counteract the not so great review. And you definitely want to keep it like short and sweet though too. You don't want to, be typing a whole paragraph and be saying that, you're going to bake their grandmother lasagna next week and drop it off, that sort of thing. So again, it's not the worst thing. It's just make sure that you're not just ignoring those bad reviews either. People do realize that, people have bad opinions on good people, and it's just a matter of how you react to that. So,
And in general, when people leave reviews, it's either because they feel really, really good about something or really bad. I think more often people leave a bad review when they feel like passionate about something, which is again why we want to encourage people in this setting to leave a 5-star review and push that, because they may not always think of it, and it's helps your business, all that good stuff.
yeah, absolutely. So another way that we did talk about to share your Google Business Review link was through a QR code. And with a QR code, what this is it's basically a little tiny picture. You saw it on the card that Yanni showed, and you can just open the camera app on your phone, hold it over that QR code, and the link is going to pop up right there. So they can just click that link super easily, and it'll take them right to writing a review. So a great tip and question is how to create a QR code. So we did post a YouTube video with step-by-step instructions on how to create that. Has anybody tried it out?
Has anybody used a QR code before?
Oh yeah.
Right. Because now, especially with the pandemic, they started putting them at restaurants. So a lot of restaurants don't have a menu; they just have the QR code. So I think that's going to make it a little bit easier for people to get on board with this.
And
Yeah.
parking garages.
Parking garages.
Garages
Okay.
are doing it now too.
Right.
Yeah, so it's definitely become something that is very common and known. So again, it's just another easy way, especially if someone says to you, I can't write you a review right now, and you have a little card with that, you say, okay, take this with you. Because a lot of times an emailed link or a texted link, it gets opened and then forgotten about. So having them have something they can take with them is always a great way to, again, continue to try to get that positive feedback and review. So
Can you have that QR code on your phone so that when you're with a client in front of them, you can open it up and say, scan this, and you can just go ahead and leave me a review right away like that?
yes, absolutely. Yep, you can. And it doesn't have to be printed out. They can do it, from a picture on your phone. You can print it out and tape it on the back of your phone, whatever works best. I've seen people make them into stickers that are really useful, to put on the back of their phone, their computer, whatever, you know, travels with them the most frequently. And it also then becomes a reminder to you, oh yeah, by the way, here, scan my QR code and leave a review. I'd love to hear your feedback. So
You can send it on a postcard too, like after you sold a property or something like that, you can send it to them on a postcard and they can scan the back of it. I mean, there's any
Business card too. You could have it on all of your business cards, and that way, every time you hand it out, it's got it on there.
right. Yep.
Does
Exactly.
the YouTube video also teaches you how to do QR code for just anything?
For
There's a
any,
QR code,
yeah, so it does. Yep, it's right here. I'm gonna,
If I wanted to create a QR code for my website, for example, I could do that too with this video.
yep. So it's just, you can create many different QR codes. It's a website that's free called Canva, and you create a free account through there. And again, the YouTube video will walk you through exact steps on how to, you know, get to the section. But yeah, you just type in the link or copy and paste the link and hit generate, and it generates a QR code to go to that link. So if you want it for your website, you can have one for your website. If you want one for your Google business, you can have one for that. Just about anything that is a link, you can create a QR code for.
Awesome.
Yeah, Lauren, that's super cool. The QR code on a T-shirt. I love that idea. One of the better commercials that I noticed at the Super Bowl, it was I think it was like crypto.com or something, and it was just a QR code bouncing around the screen, and it ended up crashing their server because so many people just scanned it from the screen. It was just a QR code as the commercial, and a lot of people were interested because it's like, oh, what is that? I'm gonna
Anytime on any social marketing type of account, when you were like, I have a secret, or, you know, people don't know, you got their attention, I would say, for a solid 24 hours. You know, if you're like, I've got a really big surprise, I'll check back tomorrow to tell you, something like that. For some reason, people cannot just leave curiosity alone. They got to know. And I think that goes hand in hand with the way that the world is with social media. We always, you know if someone brings something up, we can look it up right away. So QR codes are definitely a popular tool. And again, this tutorial, which we'll post the link to that in the chat, is a great way to have another option available. All right.
Just a heads up, my reviews haven't posted just because I have an issue with Google. So if you're going to use the QR code, I would suggest probably using the link first, seeing if that works, and then moving towards that QR code, just in case that QR code doesn't work for your reviews that come up.
Yeah, we've definitely had some issues with Brandon's Google business account.
Yeah.
And I will say, Google is very similar to Facebook when it comes to their customer service. I mean, they flagged one of ours too for like no reason, and we submitted many different appeals to why they flagged one of our Google business accounts. So again, it happens. I think the best thing at that point is to probably create a new Google business account, take that one down. And it sucks if you have a lot of reviews, but to start from fresh, if they're not posting, because a lot, like I said, we had our Fells Point office, what was it, like temporarily closed or something like that for 6 months when it fixed it. And we would submit a form every single like week or every other week to get that reviewed, and nobody would ever respond.
Yeah. Since a lot of us claim the same address, that's where maybe I think Google business can get a little wonky sometimes, but you can verify things. They'll send a postcard to the address. Google's kind of surprisingly old school with their verification techniques. They need to either call the business line or they will send you a physical postcard to the address. And Anne-Marie, I have seen QR codes on for sale signs. Has anybody used anything like that before?
I wasn't sure if you could put them on on like the for sale sign itself, but I figured you can probably make one, you know, like maybe a 2x2 or 4x4 of itself and put it on the property as well with some information.
Right.
Yeah. So
I
I think-
watched a video last week. They were talking about making that into your for sale signs in order to reach out the new millenniums, because that's how everybody does everything now. That's why I was asking.
Yeah. And Kathy has a good point, you know, just make sure that it's active, maybe a rider or something like that. And I don't know, John might know better on the legality of it, but I mean, I don't see it.
That's true.
Yeah, being a problem. But yeah, just make sure that they're current when you put them up. Like Brandon was saying, test things first is always the way to go about this kind of stuff, because you want to have somebody, you know, try it out or test it, or you test it yourself. That way you can ensure that it works before a client interfaces with it.
Yeah, that's definitely always something you want to do. Make sure it's working. I've seen too, you know, you can reach out to local marketing or not marketing, print companies. They'll make them into stickers. If you do want to add them on there, is another easy way for people to scan your QR code. I definitely wouldn't suggest not having any contact info on there, just because if someone's driving by a sign, it might be hard for them to stop, get out, pull their phone up and scan a QR code. So you also want to have that information. And I'm sure on the legal end, you're still required to have the phone number of both yourself
Also,
and the office.
I think we need to be cognizant of the fact that not everybody is comfortable with that kind of technology yet. I don't think, I think maybe you want to add QR codes, but not replace other information with them.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, as with anything, you got to be mindful of your own network and everything like that. If you're working with only, you know, retirement communities or something like that, you're going to have a certain demographic that you're dealing with. If you're working only with new home buyer millennials or something like that, you're going to be mindful of that. Yeah, that's a good point, Gina.
Absolutely. All right. Anyone have any questions?
I did go ahead and post it in the YouTube channel in the chat. To touch on that, we've been posting every class that we have recorded in our Remax Advantage Realty YouTube page. So check it out. There's some stuff we talk about, information security, and some older ones. There's a lot of good stuff that Miss Sean and George have put on. So highly recommend subscribing over there. Smash that like button, subscribe, you know the drill. What do we got? Terry, you got any questions over there, bud? You're up in Westminster, I can tell from the window.
No pots and pans today, buddy.
Yeah, no copper pots.
Darn. You didn't bring them with you? I'm hungry.
I usually bring them to the Beauty and the Beast show.
Which one's which?
Is that what we should rename us to? It's on the Beast.
I love it. Has anybody been using Google Business well and want to talk a little bit about their experiences at all? Miss Pat, no? All right.
I've definitely used Google Business Ads. They've been pretty successful for me. And it's pretty decent because I can set a day limit for myself. So I spend about $5 to $7 a day for that 30-day time period. And the return has been pretty decent.
What kind of ads are you putting in there?
So honestly, I've just been running post ads on when people search in the Google bar. I'll go ahead and do Google search ads.
So it's like a keyword type of
Yep,
thing.
exactly.
And you're doing that through Google or
Yep,
through
I do it through my Google business page, through Google Ads specifically on that business page.
Okay. Yeah, so that is another way that you can, generate leads. And there also is a lot of ways in Megaphone that you can generate leads as well that I've seen people have decent success. But again, as we always like to say, the statistics behind leads can be, very, very low. So you definitely have to have a system to convert that into, and, you know, keep reaching out with those leads. So, but again, that's all systems that are available through Remax and that we have successfully set up with tons and tons of our agents, so that they have a CRM, they have a website, they have their Google business up, their online presence is just super, you know, solid. So
And with-
Tammy, do you have
with
a?
that,
I'm sorry. Go
with
ahead,
that,
Mitch.
Megan, with that stuff too, like what you're just talking about. I mean, are you finding it to be more effective, you know, with them going, you know, for more awareness of your videos or your location or your signups or calls? Like when you're doing those Google ads, what's generating the most response? Is it like posting a open house, or is it posting maybe something that's like, you know, relevant to the time frame, maybe a holiday, this and that? But what's getting a better response, you know, versus just you know, just views and not clicks?
I would say listings. If, you know, that's definitely going to be the top, because you're going directly into people who are actually looking to buy. If you're
Right.
looking for buyers. Now, if you're looking for sellers, I would definitely, you know, you definitely got to work your sphere a lot more than I would say for buyers. But as far as that, yeah, I would say listings generate a lot of the leads, and that's because you're, you know, you're giving value to someone who is looking to buy or sell very soon. So then I would say, you know, running video ads and stuff like that, that's a little bit further out. You can hit a larger range of people, but again, you're the ones that you're really trying to target, it can be more difficult to draw them in. So it's definitely the listings that get a lot of action, and even people who might not be buying for a year or two or selling for a year or two, they just want to know what a house that looks
Yeah,
like
they're no.
might be
Yeah.
worth, or what they can afford, or what they can get for their budget, or stuff like that. So I would definitely say
So just being more, I guess. So I guess just being more creative on how you present your listings on Google will definitely, I'm sure, will help.
yes. Well, with Remax, you automatically get a week of free social media advertising. So there is a difference. Google advertising is not the same as social media advertising. Social media is Facebook, Instagram,
Right.
LinkedIn, I think, is an option. So whereas with Google, you're kind of just, you're broadcasting out into the sea. With
Right.
the Remax social media ads, you're kind of broadcasting out into, we'll say, the Chesapeake Bay opposed to the whole ocean.
Right. A little bit easier.
So it's kind of like targeting it and honing it down to what exactly you're looking for. And that can be done through Google. But again, you're, every single time you are targeting more and more, your price is going up.
Right.
So I have seen where people have extended the week of free social media ads that they get from Remax and seen some good return from that. Maybe, you know, every time they have a listing, they throw an extra 30 or 50 bucks behind it to keep it going. Or if they sell something, they've run ads based off of that. So it all just depends. It also depends on your sphere specifically. If you're working with retirement communities, running social media ads or Google ads probably isn't going to be your best area to put your marketing dollars behind. You know, maybe some pop-by flyers at a senior center would be a better way. So again, that's why we do the one-on-ones. Everybody's sphere is different,
Right.
and everybody has a different demographic that they're targeting. So.
Okay.
Tammy, you had something? Yeah.
I do. So surprisingly, and John can probably validate this, for some reason, we are seeing a lot of relocations taking place more now. They kind of started the end of last year, and they're really coming in. I've had 2 clients in a matter of 2 weeks call me that are relos, that just found me from my Google reviews. So
Wow.
it's kind of cool. It's helping me flip the script as a lender to get clients that I can put into my agent's laps. but it's interesting that the relos are really relying on Google reviews to find us. They're, where in the past they were probably using local agents or people to say, where would you go in this state? Now, like Yanni said, everybody lives in Google. So it really does make a difference with the reloads that are happening right now.
Yeah, to that point, one of the more recent lead generation techniques that I looked at, all of the Chamber of Commerce's have, business information on who's coming new into town. You can find out what businesses are actually seeking space in your local areas. And one of the things that's really on the upswing for some of these mega teams, I'm noticing, they are connecting with headhunters, and headhunters are providing them information. So it may be worth a half an afternoon to check out at some point. It requires getting in a car, going someplace. I understand all that. But, on a day when you're saying, what am I going to do today to generate business? It might be worth spending an hour at the Chamber of Commerce and seeing what kind of things you can pick up from there, tips on what's happening in the neighborhood. Because, the more information any of us have about the local areas that we're working in, and the more that we post that may be different from what everybody else is posting, you're going to get noticed. I realize it's work, but I'll tell you, in this market, you got to work. You got to work. Absolutely. And it requires getting out of the box a little bit.
Yeah, I think another, as the pandemic, every day can be different at times, but yeah, a lot of people they're starting to, a lot of companies are going to fully remote. So you're going to see relocation. If I'm not stuck, in this state, maybe I'll go to my dream location instead. And again, so if your mind is that you're fully remote all the time, you're definitely going to be using the internet to find, what you need. You're not in that office setting anymore, asking your friends if they know a good realtor in, 2 states over, or, so you are relying on the internet, and making sure your presence is super strong is super important. It has definitely increased, I would say, a lot over the past 2 years, especially with the pandemic and us all, social distancing and being stuck at home for periods of time. So I think now more than ever, it's important to get your Google presence up there.
And to speak on the Google presence a little bit, has everybody heard the acronym SEO? See some confused nods.
SEO?
SEO, yeah. Search engine optimization. Yeah. So that whole the reviews play to that. And what Megan and Kathy and the digital marketing team can help with is moving yourself up in the SEO category. You want to be high in Google searches. So when somebody types in, even if it's your name, some people have pretty common names. I'm not that person, but you want to make sure that you show up first when searched. Nobody, and I mean literally nobody, is going to page 2 on Google ever. So you want to be in that top 2 or 3. And what Remax has put a ton of money behind with their websites, the Bouge websites and everything like that, is to make sure that you show up high. We've had agents that have had websites for like 10, 15 years, and they still have it, but they activated their Bouge site and it shows up above it. And you really
let's show it real quick.
Yeah.
So this is why we push all the different tools that we have. Brandon, I'm going to use you as a example. So Brandon has his Remax website up and running. He has his Google over here, but a lot of times what we're seeing is, say Brandon didn't, and he, didn't have his Remax website, and he had a website that he was paying $300, $400, $500, I've seen $800 a month for. It would be coming down here on this, lower on the Google search, maybe even on a different page, but with Remax and having that Remax website published, you're the first, when your name is searched, the first that comes up is Brandon's whole info and his bio, which he has control over. They can click right here. This goes directly to Brandon's email. This person also gets added into Brandon's CRM automatically, and he also gets a notification and a portfolio created in his CRM about this person, what they said on what date, and what they're looking for. Now, say they just want to learn more about him, they can click directly to Brandon's personalized Remax website and see all the listings, his Facebook.
So all you have to do is make sure your website is active on Remax.
Yep.
Yeah, active and published. Yep.
Because and having the pieces attached to it, the listings, your social pages and stuff like that, Google plays into that. That stuff accounts into the algorithm for Google. So consistent updates matter when it comes to SEO. Mitch was wondering, try his. Type in what
All right, let's do it.
Do it just from your computer.
It's
I also, Yanni, I found too that if you meta tag your photos that you put into Google and Facebook, and if you whatever you're posting online, that really helps too to boost you up.
There you go.
Yeah, you can meta tag every listing paid for those images with.
Get your name on there, and what that
All right,
is
here's
really
Mitch. He came up first too.
See that?
See that?
I love that avatar. That's cool, man. Yeah, so if you haven't set up your Bouge website through Remax, definitely hit up Megan and Kathy so they can help you with that process. And then there's maintenance that you want to be doing to it over time. You want to make sure that it's being updated with your social media accounts because again, that helps with SEO.
And there are tons. We won't get into all of them, but Yanni and I work with Remax International twice a month, and they give us a lot of the tips and tricks that they see working for other brokerages. So, there are certain things that we can do to optimize it even more for you to come up that we've learned from them as far as the SEO search and all of those different factors.
What kind of questions does everybody have? Is this too much information for the next class? We'd love feedback on kind of people's levels and what you want us all to focus on, because this kind of stuff is for you and to help grow your business, especially heading into it's going to be a competitive spring, but there's still going to be a lot of properties coming on. I'm seeing more and more listings recently. I mean, I live in the city, so I think it's a bit more unique. But I see signs all over the place right now. So
I live out in the farm. I still see signs. I think that I really enjoyed this class specifically because I feel like, we've had a lot of engagement, and that's what we want. We want you guys to come to these classes with your questions and, kind of bounce ideas back off of each other. Some things we might not know that you guys teach us.
And afterwards, please reach out. Anne-Marie, I know you're have some questions, stuff like that. Let's set some more stuff up with you and Kathy and Megan and make sure that you have everything dialed in exactly how you want it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to work on that myself and see where I get, and then we'll take it from there.
I love your style. Congrats, by the way, for everybody, the awards and all that good stuff. I saw the pictures from the Ocean City Seaford Eastern Shore Awards. It looked fantastic. What a crew.
Thank you.
What a crew.
Well, we're big, firm believers on practice what you preach and lead by example. So I'm going to leave all of our Google review links in the chat. And we would love to get a 5-star glowing review about Remax Advantage Realty and the office that you are specifically with. Again, the more reviews we get, the better you guys look as well. So don't forget to, what do they say? Smash that like button on YouTube. Smash the thumbs up.
Like, share, subscribe, comment. Again, it's all of the stuff
we just
is
need
algorithm
reviews.
based. Yeah, it's all algorithm based, so it's math going into this stuff. It's code. The more action that it gets, the more it shows up, and it as with almost anything, it compounds over time. I think Mr. John could have written this book, The Compound Effect. Probably read it a couple times too, but it's real. I mean, it works in literally every aspect of life. So keep putting in that daily work. Keep pushing to get people that know, like, and trust you to leave reviews. Send these links of your reviews to your family and friends, and get that snowball started, and say, hey, you ask how you can help me in my business. This is how you can do it. It used to be, I'm never too busy for your referrals and stuff like that. Well, this is kind of how they can help you with referrals, and it just takes a couple clicks. And I also say, as Megan was saying, ask for 5 stars and ask for a little bit of a description, because the 5-star is nice and that shows up well, but the more detailed the description is of what the positive experience was, could be, you know, Megan's class was fantastic. We appreciated all of her deep knowledge with Google, and she always helps us to be the best agents we can possibly be. You know, you can quote me on that. So, and put it in.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily just have to be about us. You know, we've got a great team of managers in each one of these offices, even the front desk staff, TC, whatever it is that you guys love about Remax, just let us know on Google. If you have something you want to complain about, email.
Internal.
Just to clarify.
Can we ask family and friends to leave us a review just talking about us as a person, even if we haven't done a deal with them yet? Just
Absolutely.
To, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you want
They can
that
speak to your
diverse.
character, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Anne Marie is a hard worker. She's always dedicated and cares about the people that she works with, et cetera, et cetera. It's not a lie. It's true. It's about you. So absolutely.
Mortgage brokers, lawyers, I mean, everybody that you work with, those guys, I mean, anybody that's in the field that works with you would be a good 5-star.
That's a good idea. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And what a great follow-up touch for past clients. You know, it could be a way that you use to reach out. And yeah, it's an ask, but I think if you explain it, it's like, hey, look, as things go on, I want people to have the same kind of great experience that you had. Do you mind taking 2 minutes out of your life to leave a 5-star review?
And you can take those reviews and, you know, put them on your Remax website. You can use those as social media content so that not only the people who are looking you up on Google, but all your friends see, you know, how great you're doing. You can turn all of that into much more than just leaving the review on Google. You can use that in your listing presentation, your buyer's presentation. Those are the things that people want to see. And so just remember that even though it seems like, you know, oh, I just got a Google review, or it's not the top priority in my business, it can become so much more, and there's a snowball effect behind it.
Yeah.
Feel free to send myself and Terry your Google links. We'll show you 5-star love.
There you go. Yeah, and speaking of buyer stuff, I know Tammy and Mr. John are putting on a buyer seminar on Tuesday live. One of the first live classes back in Ellicott City, and they're going to be doing it in the other offices as well over the course of time. So that's definitely one to go check out. The Modern Mortgage team has your back on this kind of stuff and prepping for buyers and all that good stuff.
Yeah, hurry up and enroll for that. We're about halfway to our limit, I think, in each of our spots. So we're looking to get 20 folks in each. What do we have? About 10 in each now?
Yeah.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. There's one in what?
And then we're going to do it in Carroll County on the 12th. Right.
Yep.
Taking it on the road.
On the road.
Have any other questions?
We'll be out in Ocean City in May.
Oh.
Yeah, when it's nice out. It's this Maryland spring is kind of seeing snowflakes on Saturday.
Tammy and I have our whole calendar planned for the next 2 years.
Wow. I'm proud.
I'm just kidding. We really don't.
Oh, darn. You got my hopes up there, Mr. John. You're way above schedule, so that is great. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to leave that 5-star review. if you guys have any questions, want to set up a one-on-one, even just to look at what you currently have going on with your marketing, where we can help, please always feel free to reach
Right.
out. I'm gonna add.
One more plug on a class, if I can, Meg.
Yeah.
On April the 7th, we're having a financial advisor come into the Ellicott City office for another personal one, live. A fellow by the name of Ben Offit, who was recommended by our friend Dennis Guma. I met the fellow at Dennis's house a couple of years ago. Very impressive guy. He's got a team. We tried to do it last month via Zoom, and we had connectivity problems. But we then now decide, since he has such a pile of information to hand out, that we're going to do it live. So you'll be getting from Megan, through me from Megan, probably at the end of the week, an invitation to sign up for that. So I advise that those of you on the west side of the bridge get out to Ellicott City on Thursday, the 7th of April, 10:30 to 12. Advertisement finished.
All right. You went over 30 seconds, so we might have to adjust your price.
I know, I know.
Your 30-second ad. All
Brooklyn
right.
guys talk a lot.
Well, you guys have our Google review links. You guys have my contact info. Again, if you need anything, please always feel free to reach out. We're always here to help, answer any questions, trade reviews, that fun stuff.
Yanni, I got my Remax shirt. Came in the mail.
Oh,
Wow,
mine
only
did too.
6 months
After,
late.
yeah, mine did too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have a use for the coat that I ordered, but maybe next year.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll
Thanks,
see you all
everybody.
soon.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Very well. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, guys.